What's good? Hold on, we gotta do it right if we're gonna do it. What's good? Back again, another day. It's your boy, Leg Hurt Short, and we going live again. I'm gonna try something a little different because I'm gonna be live, but I'm gonna see if I can just kick it on the game for a little bit while we live, so I can chat. If it doesn't work, then we just gonna chop it up. It's all good, but I'm gonna see if we can make this work in the meantime, which it does look like we can make it work. So this is what we about to do. Um, but yeah, I wanted to chop it up with y'all today, man. Yesterday I had so much fun going live. I figured we just do it again and run it back and just chop it up and see how it goes. But I do have a topic today, which is, man, just navigating social relationships and minding your own business, man, because it is so easy these days to just get caught up in other people's stuff that doesn't have anything to do with you. And you look up and you just invested in you involved in stuff that you have absolutely nothing to do with whatsoever. So I have been taking pride in doing the best I can to just focus on minding my business. And I'm gonna play Elden Ring. Elden Ring. Oh, they had a some DLC, downloadable content. Shout out to that. I'm gonna just play Elden Ring because Elden Ring requires no strategy, no nothing. You just play and get washed. As a matter of fact, no, I think I'm gonna play Midnight Sun. I'm not in the mood for Elden Ring today and their foolishness. So we're gonna play Marvel's Midnight Suns, which is perfect because tomorrow is X-Men 97, the season finale. I'm super excited about it. I hope y'all are too, because we definitely gonna talk about it. And that's probably what we're gonna talk about tomorrow. But you know what I'm saying? It's just so weird because these days it is so easy to just get involved in other people's stuff, man. And chances are, truth be told, we don't even really have time to be focused on other people's stuff because we have so much of our own stuff going on that if you're not careful, you get wrapped up and you get involved in other stuff that don't have nothing to do with you, and you emotionally invested and attached and what I'm saying, concerned with the outcome, and it's not your business, man. And it's one thing to help out people or step up when you can, if you can, whether it's financially or just being an emotional support or whatever the case may be. That's one thing, but to actively put yourself in other people's stuff or business, man, it'll really take up your time and energy. I was gonna play Marvel Midnight Sun, but I forgot I was stuck. I'm gonna probably have to just quit this and start over. Um, Let me see. But yeah, man, it is so easy to get wrapped up in other people's stuff and taking up your time and energy trying to solve other people's problems with things that have absolutely nothing to do with you. And you lose sight of what's going on in your life, in your world, and what's important to you. So, a long time ago, I just made a decision that, if it's something that I can't directly affect, or if it's something that is none of my business, I'm not going to participate in it. I'm gonna stay out of it. And you know, sometimes it gets rough because when you have a lot of friends or a lot of people in your social circle, you'll look up and you get involved in some stuff, or you have to play sides or pick the middle in situations like that. And I've always the way that I've learned how to deal with that type of situation is very easy. You know what I'm saying? If we're gonna be cool, you know, and y'all got a situation going on, I'm not going to talk to them about you, and I'm not going to let you talk to me about them. You know what I'm saying? We can be cool as long as, if we kick it, we're not talking about them. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about whatever we're talking about because we have a relationship existing outside of that other person. So that's how I keep it, and that's usually how I play it. And if something like that comes up, I'll stay out of it, especially, even whether I agree or disagree, I don't involve myself in it. And if it seems like that's going to be the case where I have to take a stand, or I have to get involved, you know what I'm saying, for the most part, I'll just remove myself from the situation altogether and, just remove myself from both parties and don't be involved, man, because life is too short to get invested and take your time and worry about other things that don't have anything to do with you. And, a lot of times I have lost friendships behind situations like that. And, what I'm saying, where somebody wanted me to take a side or, you know, play or, say XYZ about somebody or whatever the case may be. And the last thing you want to do in a situation like that in particular is look like you are playing both sides of the field. Nobody wants to be J. Cole. Like I don't think anybody would want to trade places with what J. Cole had going on, to where you end up apologizing and you running around with one and the other one looking at you funny and all that stuff. Like, so for me, it's easy to just draw a line in the sand and be like, look, I am still cool with this person, you know what I'm saying? So if that's an issue, I get it, I understand. Here's what it is. Like, I'm gonna either be cool with both y'all and we just not gonna talk about it. And if it's an issue where it's like safety involved or something like that, I just opt out completely. Like, I'm not even playing those types of games because I've been in those types of situations and seen them before. And I know how quickly things can escalate to where it doesn't even make sense. You just get out the way completely. But, and usually what happens, I think Wale said something along these lines, and it was actually pretty accurate. He was talking about the beef between Meek Mill and somebody that was running around with Meek Mill, but they weren't cool anymore. And Wale was like, you pick a side or you get involved in the situation, and then a couple weeks later those two are friends, and now you're looking crazy because what I'm saying, you did whatever you did and they're friends again. So usually I err on the side of it's best to not even get involved, but if you do have to get involved, just don't pick a side, because what's going to happen anyway is 9 times out of 10 those two people are gonna make up and be friends again. And then, they're gonna be looking at you because it's like, well, when that situation went down, you was doing XYZ. We got my brother Jamari in the building. Shout out to Jamari. What's happening, cuz? Good to see you as always. We just kicking it right now, just chopping it up about, trying to do your best to stay out of the situations where, you know, especially when you're cool with mutual parties and you end up getting stuck in the middle of something, just the best way to try to deal with those types of situations, because they get messy super fast, man. And if you're not careful, you end up getting sucked in it. And I was just looking at J. Cole. He was getting too close to one side, and he ended up looking crazy. Like, if I was J. Cole in that situation, you know what I'm saying, I wouldn't have been out there doing those songs with either one of them, bro. Especially, and then you go out there and you make a diss, and you wasn't even on that type of time for real, but you playing along. It's like, bro, you didn't even have to put yourself out there like that. So, you know, it's very difficult. And honestly, at this point, it's not even difficult, because for me, man, I'll just be like, until y'all get it sorted out, I'm just going to be over here. And sometimes you do have to distance yourself, because I'm just thinking back, like in 2017, yeah, I'll say from like 2017. Yeah, 2017 for sure. Like, I was at a place mentally where I just wasn't even talking to people. Like, it would be 2 or 3 days where my phone just wouldn't ring at all. I wouldn't get any text messages. I wouldn't get anything. I was just, on my loner type bag. And, I was good with that. I wasn't really, missing the interaction or the conversation or anything like that, because I was just focused on myself and my situation and my circumstances and what I had going on. And I just really didn't have any time to be invested or involved in what other people had going on. And that right there is what MYOBI is, which, if you haven't figured it out, MYOBI is minding your own business. Like, that is a skill and it's an art, because, chances are 9 times out of 10, you got enough stuff going on in your life that you really don't even have time to be worrying about what other people have going on, or what they're doing or how they're living their life or decisions that they're making or whatever the case may be. Because you have enough going on in your own life. And honestly, I think being nosy and being involved in other people's stuff is a luxury, bro. Like you have to be really, really, really in a good place to just be concerned about what other people have going on because there's so much that you could be worrying about in your own life. And so for me, that's always been my thing. Like, when I see too much going on and I feel like I'm too emotionally attached or too emotionally invested in somebody else's stuff, what that tells me is I just have too much. I'm not working hard enough, or, what I'm saying? I don't have enough going on and I need to get focused and I need to hunker down because if I got time to worry about that, that means I'm not paying attention to something in my own life, which could, cause a lot of problems down the line if I don't get in front of it. So that's always been my mentality and my mindset. Like I always try to stay out of the way of stuff like that, man. And sometimes there is no way to stay out of the way of it. And you do get invested and you get involved. And usually in those instances, in those situations, I'm gonna be like, all right, cool. I'm just gonna stay away from both of y'all until y'all get it resolved and figure it out, and then we'll deal with that. Because again, man, it is so easy. And Robert Greene talks about this, I believe, in the 48 Laws of Power. I love referencing a good Robert Greene book just because he gives out so much information and so much wisdom just living life. You know what I'm saying? So for me, bro, it's like it's easy to just say, you know what, to heck with it. I'm just not gonna get invested or involved. I'm gonna go do my own thing because, like I said, there's always something in your life that you could be working on, that you could be fixing, that you could be improving. So honestly, we don't even have time to be worrying about what other people have going on or what they're dealing with. And even with that, even in those instances, in those situations, you can still make somebody upset and they'll feel some type of way because you're not picking their side. But if that, even at that, you can live with it and be like, all right, man, it is what it is. Like I just decided that I'm not going to deal with both of y'all. And again, man, everybody's not going to be happy with that. Everybody's not going to like it. But at the end of the day, it's about protecting your peace and protecting your sanity. You know what I'm saying? Because all you have is your mind. And if things go wrong in your household, neither one of them more than likely is going to stop doing what they do to come fix it. And I mean, now granted, there are some times that you do have to get invested and involved, like if there's violence going on, physical violence or whatever the case may be, then that's totally different circumstance. You either remove yourself or pick a side and you deal with things accordingly. But for the most part, a lot of situations, man, people will be beefing and they'll be upset and not getting along. Let me see. Jamari said that has been me lately. I really recently, that has been me lately. Recently, fell out with. Yeah, bro. I mean, you just gotta take a step back, man, and just be like, you know what? My peace of mind, I can't even do it, man. Like, I wish y'all the best. I wish you well. And you just get out of there, man. Like, again, but sometimes there are situations where you do have to get involved. So I think wisdom is knowing the difference, knowing a situation where it's like, all right, I have to step in. Like, you know, there's no way around it. I just have to be invested. I have to be involved. It just is what it is. But if it's not one of those types of situations and people were cool and they just gonna get back cool again, it ain't even worth it, bro. Like you get invested, you get involved, and then next week they laughing and joking and they cool, man. And what I'm saying? Now you looking stupid because you done got involved in something that wasn't really your business to begin with. So that's let me see what Jamari say. 100%, man. And like I said, sometimes you do have to just take that time and focus on yourself, bro. Because it's like, you got XYZ going on, and that stuff is important. And you worrying about what other people have going on will take a mental toll on you and start affecting your livelihood and what you got to do with your people. So sometimes you just got to take that step back and be like, you know what? I respect you. I'm good. But, I wish you well. I wish you the best. I just can't be involved with it. And you do what you do, you handle it how you handle it. If you feel some type of way about it, I totally understand. But you know what I'm saying? It's best to just remove yourself from those types of situations. So I'm glad you had that wisdom and that foresight to know, bro. Like you gotta sometimes you gotta take a step back from people. And you know, usually, and the thing about that is usually, it's not as bad as you think it is. I remember when the pandemic hit in 2020 and so many people were like upset and going through it because they were just so used to being around other people. I had mixed emotions at first, but I truly felt like we were growing apart. At the end of the day, everybody can't go. Life goes on. That's facts right there. Sometimes you do have to distance yourself and you have to cut people off. And I know we have a habit of not wanting to cut people off. And, we try to force relationships past their expiration date. But, as you get older, it definitely gets easier. And I'll tell you, for me, what made it easier for me to just be like, you know what, I'm distancing myself or I'm going over here and I'm focusing on myself is, it was situations where I literally didn't have any choice but to focus on myself because, you know, my finances wasn't together, my life wasn't together, and I just had things that I needed to work on. And, by doing that, it's like I don't have time to, you know, deal with what you have going on or what your issues are or whatever your thing is. Like I would love to, but I got this going on over here. And, I know you can't help me and there's nothing you can do for me. So, I just gotta go over here and focus on that. And usually when you mind your own business, man, you know what I'm saying? Life just gets so much easier and it gets so much better because you're just not invested in, what other people have going on because you got enough on your plate. And let me see. Oh yeah, I read that one. Yeah, man. And really, like I said, to be able to worry about what other people are doing or other people's drama and business is really a luxury. Like, you have to have free time or you have to not be focused on what's important to you to worry about other people's stuff, man. And I really feel like people take that for granted or people just genuinely don't value their time because if people valued their time, then they would not be so invested in other people's business, man. Because, it it's enough going on, especially right now with the way that the economy is and, money being tight and XYZ, like we really don't have time to be worrying about other people and what they got going on because you got your own stuff. And, you know, I just really hope that people learn to focus on themselves and, what I'm saying, deal with what you got going on because that's really what matters in this life, especially, if you're a parent and you have kids and stuff, or we don't have the luxury to be playing around and, it's just different, dog. So, yeah, man, that's been heavy on my mind and on my heart, and I just wanted to put that out there. Like, you gotta be. Life's too short to be worrying about what other people have going on in their situations and circumstances. Like, we got our own stuff that we got to deal with, and you know, there's nobody coming to save you. It sounds cute, but that is the truth. Nobody is coming to save you. So if you sitting here worrying about other people, just know when it's your time or you going through whatever you got going on, ain't nobody coming to save you, bruh. So hopefully you're planning right and you're taking that into consideration. And truthfully, people's probably gonna laugh at you. That's what I've found. Like when you going through stuff and you having circumstances and situations, 9 times out of 10, the same people that you stressing about and you worrying about and you getting involved in their business or whatever the case may be, when you going through whatever your situation is and your circumstances are, they're probably going to laugh at you. So you got to keep that in mind and just move accordingly, man, because life is no joke. And you only get one. And if you spend your life worrying about other people and what they got going on, can you really truly say that you're living your life and enjoying your life? I don't think so. But to each his own, I can only speak on my circumstances. I feel like that was the disconnect between us. I have people depending on me and they don't. And that's not a knock to them. It's just the reality. Once I realized that, it was easier to get let go. That's facts, bro. Like if you out here with kids, man, you don't have the luxury or the time. Like you have literally another human being that's depending on you to perform and get things done. Like you don't have the option to be out here laughing and joking and playing around, man. Like it's just not the reality of things. And granted, right now I'm on the playing a game in the middle of the day, but what you got to understand, this is my job. Like right now, as I don't have anything going on outside of doing 30,000 applications a day, you know what I'm saying? I got to, do this because this is what's working right now. And shout out to YouTube, man. It's really been opening a lot of doors. If you haven't seen my live stream yesterday, I talked about that, just how, things have been coming together and doors have been opening up through me being active on YouTube consistently. But, you know what I'm saying? Again, ultimately, bro, when you have kids, man, you don't have time to just be playing around like that. And time, again, I really believe that people just don't understand time or they take it for granted, not understanding that time is really a luxury, bro. Time is something that you can't get back. Once it's gone, it's gone. You might have another day, but you'll never have that same day again. Once that day is gone, it's gone. Yes, you might have another Tuesday, or you might have another Wednesday or another Thursday, but Tuesday, what's today? Tuesday, May 14th. There will never be another Tuesday, May 14th, 2024. Once it's gone, it's gone. You know what I'm saying? So if you take your time and you squander it and you play around with it and you don't take it the way that it's supposed to, you know what I'm saying? You can't really blame anybody but yourself when things don't go your way. And if you spend your time worrying about other people and what they have going on, man, you really limit your time and your potential as far as what you could be doing out here. Hey, yes, you preaching. Shout out to Naima, man. Naima B in the building. My girl Naima. Space is in the place. I love seeing you, Naima. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We just talking about minding your business, man. Just how so many, bruh. And I always think about this, bruh. I remember there was this girl. This was in high school, you know what I'm saying? And there was this girl. She was getting into an argument with another girl, and she said something that I just thought, I still think to this day, because I always reference it, I always remember it. She was like, the world would be a much better place if people would just mind their business. And I was like, wow, she is spitting. Now, mind you, she's in the middle of a heated argument with somebody else. I don't remember what they were arguing about, but I remember exactly where we were. We were sitting in the classroom, and you know what I'm saying? They were arguing about something. And she was just like, yo, the world would be a much better place if people would just mind their business. And I was like, bruh, like that, here I am. This had to be over 15 years ago, at the least 13, because again, this was in high school. As a matter of fact, no, this wasn't in high school. This was right after high school, and we were transitioning from high school to college, and we were taking college courses the end of our senior year. So it's like we graduated already and we were seniors, but we were taking college courses. So technically we were freshmen in school, but we because we were taking college courses, but we weren't in college yet. And so yeah, bro, she was just like, the world would be a much better place if people would just mind their business. And bro, that was so cold. Like I said, to this day, I still think of that, bro. And it's like something so simple could be so profound. Like, bro, if people just minded their business and stopped worrying about what other people had going on, the world really would be a better place, bro. Like, you look at national politics, you look at other stuff. Like, it's because people are getting invested and involved in stuff that don't have nothing to do with them. Now, it's one thing if you want to help somebody out or, you're in the position to do so. That's one thing. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you just being nosy and you worrying about what somebody else got going on that has absolutely nothing to do with you. Like, bruh, like that's just horrible, dog. Like, And yes, I agree 100%. Like I said, here I am now at 30, at my big behind 30 something years old in life, and I'm thinking about what this girl said had to be at the very least 13 years ago, bruh. Like, just the world would be such a better place if everybody would mind their business. Like, sis was really, really, really spitting that gospel. And yeah, man, I got on the Yeezy Pods today. Shout out to the Yeezy Pods, man. I'm not rocking with Kanye. I really don't agree with a lot of the stuff that he says, and I'm not one of those people that, oh yeah, man, Kanye's doing nah, bro. Like, we should stop putting cameras in front of Kanye West because clearly something is wrong with him. He says something is wrong with him, and you know what I'm saying. Even if he's just using it as a business tactic to get what he wants out of people, you know what I'm saying, we shouldn't be putting cameras in front of Kanye. We shouldn't be interviewing Kanye. We shouldn't be letting Kanye talk publicly. And I think that anybody that, you know what I'm saying, is close to Kanye and they be recording him and stuff, they're exploiting him and they're wrong because usually I remember, and you know what I'm saying, I grew up in the 90s. So a lot of people don't understand. The 90s were totally, totally, totally different. Like I remember like there was a shift in just the way that people did things, bro. Because in the 90s, the other day I posted a short just about how our grandparents used to make us turn everything in the house off when there was a storm. Like I remember in the 2000s, my grandma didn't really make us do that no more. Like, or I give you another example, and this kind of ties back to what I was saying about Kanye. You know what I'm saying? I remember in the 90s. So when I was little, I didn't go to daycare for a while. I got kicked out of daycare because I used to bite and get into fights all the time like that. So I got kicked out of daycare. And I ended up having to stay with this lady named Miss Anna. You know, I would spend the day with her. I'd play with her dogs and stuff. And she had a room that we just were never, I was never allowed to go into. And inside that room was somebody with mental health issues. Like I don't remember the name, I don't remember anything like that. You know, I just remember he was in the room and I was never allowed to go in the room. Like that just was what it was. So, you know what I'm saying? I say that to say like in the 90s when there was somebody with a mental illness or there was somebody that was sick or had something going on, like you just didn't see that person. And I'm not saying that's right or it's wrong because, you know what I'm saying, people should be able to have lives and they should be able to do things. And, you know, a lot of times you'll see them like being greeters at Walmart. And I think that that's pretty cool. Like they can do tasks and they can, you know, live life and they can do things like that. I think that that's really, really dope. And that, you know, gives them a lot of responsibility and it helps people out. And also, let me say, you know, I'm not an expert on mental illness or anything like that. So I don't know what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. But what I can say from the outside looking in is people always shoving cameras in Kanye's face is crazy. But, you know, I say all of that to say, you know, there used to be protections and there used to be things in place to, you know, shelter them from the world because people would laugh and joke and tease those types of people. Like I remember even in school, like they had their own classes and they were isolated from the general population because, you know what I'm saying, people would laugh at them and crack jokes and tease them. And that was never right. That never really sat well with me. So you know, I think today, where you have celebrities and things like that, people will exploit these people, and there's nobody that really protects them and shelters them and keeps them from the world. I know what's his name, DJ Ghost. You know, he has a son, and his son is on the spectrum. And he was like, you know, he doesn't really post his son, and he really doesn't broadcast his son because he doesn't want people laughing and cracking jokes or saying the wrong thing about his son. And if I had a child on the spectrum, which, you know, I don't think anybody wants, but, you know, if you get that, you do the best you can. You know, I would probably be somewhere along the lines too, because I really don't want people laughing and joking and playing about my kids. You know what I'm saying? Like that's something that's very personal and private, and children can't defend themselves, and adults too. You know, I feel like once you say you have a mental illness or something is wrong with you, you have to judge that person differently, and you have to play by different rules in regards to dealing with those types of people. You know, and that is the best way to deal with those types of situations, man. Like shoving cameras in their faces and exploiting them and taking advantage of them. You know what I'm saying? That's nasty. That's nasty. Even if they did figure out a way to make money and they figured out a way to, you know what I'm saying, just exist and live life. Once they say, I have a mental illness, then you automatically have to judge them by different rules than you would judge a regular person. So, for me, in terms of Kanye, I really don't say anything bad about him. I don't really say anything about him. I just treat him as if, the man said that he had mental illness. He's one. Kid Cudi, I know he said he had mental illnesses. Um, and then the other thing about that is us as black people, man, we really don't have no protections once we get famous. Because if you look at somebody like Amanda Bynes, they took Amanda Bynes and they put her away for a while. Like we didn't even see Amanda Bynes. And then they gradually let her come back out. And then, what I'm saying, if she started getting off the leash or she started getting too wild, they put her back. And, you don't really see or hear from Amanda Bynes like that. Same thing with Britney Spears. For a while, we didn't see or hear anything from Britney Spears. And, they put her back on social media. And once she got back on social media, then we saw her running around in like little skimpy bikinis and playing with knives and stuff. And so, it's like, I don't know if that's a mental illness. Like I said, I'm no expert. I can't speak to that. But, there should definitely be protections in place for people that have been diagnosed or they said that something is wrong with them. And I also think that those types of people should be proven to have those issues because you have a lot of people that'll say that they have mental illnesses and they don't have mental illnesses. And I think that that's nasty too. Like, don't be out here trying to cheat the system, bro. Like, if you really have mental illnesses, then we need to get you the help that you need, and whatever that looks like, we put you away, or and I don't want to say put you away because that sounds nasty, but if we gotta, get you some accommodations. I was a teacher, you know what I'm saying? And as a teacher, we had accommodations for certain students. There was a 504 plan, and there were a lot of different ways that we accommodated special children in the classroom, but they were still able to exist within the classroom with everybody else. And I feel like, once you say you have a mental illness and it's proven that you have a mental illness, then, you need to have some type of actions and plan to where you're protected and you're safe and you're not being exploited and taken advantage of. And I know I just went on a random tangent, but I said all that to say I bought my Yeezy Pods, and I got them, and I've been wearing them around the house and everything. I actually took them outside again today, and it's raining outside. It seems like every day I wear my Yeezy Pods outside, it rains, which is crazy. Um, let's see, Naima says she agrees. Yeah, man. So shout out to the Yeezy Pods. I'll just leave that there, man. Um, but yeah, y'all, just minding your own business. And I realized, and I tell you what, and this is kind of why I chilled off of the situation between Drake and Kendrick because even with that, a lot of people were in my comment section on YouTube and they were talking crazy, and it's like, bro, like people are just really, really, really comfortable talking crazy to people on the internet. Like, you don't know me, I don't know you. Like, for all intents and purposes, I could be a crazy person. You know what I'm saying? I could, and when people leave like it's hard to hide things in the era of the internet. So if somebody really wants to find you or they want to get your information, they can do that, and you can do the best you can. Like you can scrub all your stuff and you can really, really try. But the way that these hackers are, bro, if somebody wants to find you and if somebody wants to pull up, it's not that hard at all, unless you're like 95% off the grid and you have security and you have XYZ. If somebody wants to touch you today, it's not that hard for people to find you. And so I was just looking at some of the comments and what people were saying, and it's like, bruh, like y'all are really disrespectful. And what I'm saying, I don't know y'all and y'all don't know me. So y'all don't know what I'm liable to do or what I'm capable of. And things could really go left. And I think, the guy, Andrew Tate. He pulled up on somebody's crib and they ended up calling the police on him because they were talking crazy on the internet, and he rolled up on them, and then he ended up calling the police. What would he say? Are you and the group of guys still meeting up on Thursdays? I would love to come up there one day and chat. Yeah, man. Shout out to that. I'm gonna add you to the group. We're actually getting together this Thursday coming. So if you can make it, that would be dope, bruh. I'm gonna add you and everything. And so for those of you who don't know, we do a meetup every third Thursday of the month in Charlotte. Once a month, we get together, just a group of guys. We chop it up and, we fellowship and hang out and do activities like that. So far, we've been to Queen Park Social, which is a little hangout spot. They have games, bowling activities, things like that, and a bar. And then we went to where did we go the first time? Anyway, we do like little random activities outside in the city of Charlotte, you know what I'm saying? And we just kick it, fellowship, just talk about being men and life and things of that nature. So, definitely, Jamari, I'm gonna add you to the group. We were just talking about it today, confirming everything. I'm gonna add you to the group and send the details and information. But yeah, that's dope, man. That would be really cool if you can make it, man. Um, and even that, it falls along the lines of minding your business, man. Because everybody in the group, it's just all positive energy, all supportive. We're all young professionals just trying to make it in America, man, as best we can with everything going on. So, it's dope to just kick it with other people that look like you and know that y'all are going through similar circumstances and just trying to navigate through society and the world and all that. It's super constructive and productive, man. We don't, like I said, there's no scrubs or just random people in there that's, not serious minded or business minded. So, yeah, Jamari, I'll definitely shoot you the information so you can pull up, man. Yeah, for sure. I think it would be great for your networking and everything too. So, I'm gonna do that. But yeah, man, we really, really, really take for granted the importance of just minding your business, man. Um, it's crazy, bro. It is crazy, crazy, crazy. I just really don't understand why it's so hard. And I think, maybe social media is just making people feel comfortable to just involve themselves with stuff that doesn't have anything to do with them. But, honestly, most definitely I appreciate it. No doubt. Yeah, man. We definitely be happy to have you, bro. Like I said, it's just all a bunch of serious minded people, and we just we let our hair down and unwind and just kick it, man. Fellowship and just chop it up. So yeah, man. We definitely be happy to have you. But I think a lot of it does have to do with social media, and we are complicit in it because even with this right now, like I'm showing y'all what I'm doing in the middle of the day, and what I'm saying, we invite people into our business, which to a certain degree, you kind of don't have a choice, just the way that the world is working right now. But at the same time, if you don't want people in your business, then you got to do everything that you can to keep them out. Like, for example, when Amir was born, we genuinely did not post Amir on social media until damn near he turned one. Like, we did not take pictures of it. We took pictures of Amir, but the pictures that we took, we kept them, and we just didn't post them. And I remember we used to catch a lot of flack from our parents, like you know, because they wanted to post them on social media and stuff, and they wanted to showcase them, and that turned into a lot of little situations because it's like those are our kids, that's our son. Like if we don't want him on social media, then you got to respect that. Or, you don't have to respect it, but, you just can't come to the crib. You can't see him. You can't take pictures. And, I don't want it to be nasty like that, but, if you can't respect our boundaries and what we're saying, that's just what it is. So, we had those situations, but ultimately, everybody kind of, I don't want to say fell in line because that sounds crazy, but everybody respected what we were saying because ultimately, like I said, it was our child and it's our son. So we have the right to determine what we feel comfortable doing and what we don't feel comfortable doing. And if we don't want him on social media, then we're not going to put him on social media. You got to respect that. So, even that, that was, which at the time I thought was crazy, bro. Because it's like, why do I have to explain to you, what I'm saying, why I don't want my son on social media? Like, and then, parents will get on Facebook or, they'll get on social media and they'll just start putting out all their business and stuff. And they just really don't understand how nasty the world is, especially on social media. So, they take it and they see it as, I just want to show my little old friends and whatever the case may be. But for you, it's like, bruh, I don't want my kid out there right now. So, yeah, man. Ultimately, as you can see clearly, we ended up putting Amir on social when we decided we were ready. And, Amani, we just put on social because that's just where we were at the time. But, when Amir was first born, I want to say we didn't put Amir on social media until at least 9 or 10 months at the earliest. Like, we did not post him. We did not post my baby, man. Like, it just was what it was. But yeah, man, it's really, really, really crazy times out here, man. You got to do whatever you can to protect your peace and guard your sanity because nobody's going to protect it for you. And, like I said, the minute something goes wrong, you really find out who has your back, and you'd be surprised how many people don't have your back. And, they're kind of waiting to see you fail, or they're kind of waiting to see things fall apart so they can say, I told you so, or they can laugh and joke, or whatever the case may be. So you just really got to be careful out here, man. And, you know, you can never, ever, ever go wrong in life minding your own business. It's just therapeutic. Like, that's therapy, bro. Like, if you really want to get yourself intact and in order, you know, just say, you know what? If it doesn't involve me, I'm not going to deal with it. And watch how drastic your life changes. That one thing right there, bro, will change your life so much. Like, it'll work miracles, bro. If you just say, if it doesn't involve me, I'm not touching it. I'm not getting involved with it. I'm chilling. That one thing right there will alleviate so much of your stress because we we take for granted how much other people bring stress into our lives. And sometimes they don't mean any harm by it. Sometimes, they mean well and they could be doing something as simple as asking for advice. But the way that they want advice, and usually this is also something else I've learned. A lot of times people really don't want advice. People want you to confirm what they already thought or what they already believe to be right. So you always got to remember that too. 9 times out of 10, if somebody's asking you for advice, they don't really want your advice. What they want is confirmation of what they already think, what they already feel, or what they were going to do anyway. And they just want you to confirm it or agree with them just so they can feel validated, bro. But most times people don't want advice. People just want that. So you got to keep that in mind. So if somebody's asking you a question or if somebody's, what I'm saying, trying to get your opinion on something, you got to keep that in mind. 9 times out of 10, they don't genuinely want your advice. They just want you to validate what they've already thought, felt, or believed. So it's not coming from a good place to begin with. And then, what I'm saying, if you give somebody advice, you got to be willing to be responsible for what you said. So if it works out in your favor, what I'm saying, then cool. They may appreciate it, they may thank you. But if it doesn't work out in their favor, then whatever happened is your fault because you input your own advice and you told them what you think they should do. And that's the other thing. So you have some people that just want validation and confirmation. You have other people that just don't want to accept the blame or be responsible for their own lives. So they want somebody they can pin the blame on. So if something doesn't work out or if they get upset, they can blame you instead of, putting the blame where it really is, which is them, because they asked you for help to begin with, which again wasn't your business, but you got involved and you got invested. So now it's your fault, which happens a lot. So you got to keep that in mind. And, by the time you go through those, it's like, is it even really worth giving advice or information? And so, that's why I get it, bro. There's a lot of people out here that just isolate and they say, I'm good and I'm not dealing with people at all. I don't think that that's healthy because, like I said, even when I took my time in 2017 and I just wasn't talking to people, you know, I had, yeah, when I took my own time and I kind of just decided that I was chilling, what I'm saying, I was lonely. There was a lot of times that I missed people, and there was a lot of times, a lot of events that I missed out on. And you get FOMO, and you want to be in the mix, and you want to know what's going on. But ultimately, sometimes you just got to take that step back. And once you come out on the other side, then you feel better, you feel clean, and then you can then maybe decide you want to give advice or you want to help people out, or you got your situation and circumstances in a position to where you can be of more use to people than where you would be if you jumped in something that had nothing to do with you. And then also sometimes you just gotta allow people to think through things and solve their own problems and work their way through situations. There's nothing that you can do and they have to go through that situation. So, there's a lot of different ways to look at it and spin it. So you just gotta keep those types of things in mind, man. But you know, people are messy, bro. Whether it's intentional or unintentional, you always got to keep that in mind. And sometimes you could be the mess too, and you got to be able to accept that. Like sometimes we are the problem, bruh. Sometimes it is us, it's not other people. And again, in those instances, when it's you and you're the problem, and you don't have your stuff together, then you definitely don't need to be worrying about what other people are doing or what they got going on. That's the If that's your case and that's your situation, then 100% you got to just take a step back. You know what I'm saying? And, for me, like even I did it in 2017, and I also did it in 2019. In 2019, I think it started in 2018. No, it was 2019 because I remember I broke up with my girlfriend and I was like, you know what? I'm just not where I want to be in life right now. I stopped dating, what I'm saying? I stopped going out. I just didn't do anything for a year. For a year, I just sat down. Now, granted, that year, it was 2019 leading into the pandemic. That's what happened. It was 2019 going into 2020. And I was like, you know what, bruh? I'm not where I want to be in life right now. I got a lot of stuff going on that I just can't really control or handle or deal with. So I'm just gonna sit down, man. Like I can't be invested. I can't be in the mix. I can't be involved. Like my money ain't together. I really don't need to be doing nothing. And for a year, yeah, for a year, literally for a year, like 13 months, I sat down and I didn't do anything. Like I was just fixing my life, getting my stuff together. That's when the pandemic hit. So I was able to move up to Charlotte. And, even within, shout out to everybody that looked out for your boy and, helped me out because that was a rough time. And I just had to sit down and get myself together. And I did that. And then I came out strong on the other side and went from there. So, it's all right, bro, to sit down and miss out on the party and miss out on the events. And, what I'm saying? That bad chick that you want, man, it's all right to let her go, bro. If you're not in a position to help or, maintain or keep things going, then chill, bro. You don't have to date everything. You don't have to hit every bad joint. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be involved in everything in the mix. You don't have to know what's going on. Sometimes it's good to not know what's going on and just watch how much your life changes and grows. So that's my soapbox for the day. Let me see. Dang, everybody done checked out. It's a big busy Wednesday, Tuesday. In my mind, it's Wednesday. It's a big busy Tuesday, so it's all good. Definitely appreciate everybody pulling up, man. But we just gonna kick it, man. I realized I just be in here chilling, doing all types of unproductive stuff. So I said I'm gonna hop on live and kick it with my peoples, man. Kick it with the folks. We are playing Marvel Midnight Suns and just chopping it up. And I appreciate everybody that's gonna be coming through watching the playback. I appreciate everybody. Man, shout out to everybody that's been rocking with Yorktown, man. Like we really been on a crazy, crazy, crazy journey. And I'm grateful for everybody and everything, man. Like we talked yesterday about the pitfalls and things that people go through just dealing with content creation and building a channel and running a channel, maintaining a channel and things like that. So I definitely appreciate everybody that ever stops through, whether it's through the playbacks, whether it's the comment section, whether it's commenting on my posts, whatever the case may be. If you've ever contributed to Yorktown in any way, I appreciate it. And let me say this, man, because a lot of people be slick, man, and I'm calling y'all out today. So a lot of times what people will do when I see them, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, man, I've been watching the vlog," and they'll just tell me something that they seen on the title, or they'll see, "I see you doing your little YouTube thing," but they don't watch videos, man. Like, y'all, let me tell y'all something. I know who's watching my videos, and I know who's not watching my videos. So, you might think that you're, what I'm saying, doing me a favor, helping me out by telling me that you've watched the video or you've seen the content. But, what I'm saying, truth be told, I know that you don't. And it's all good. Like, I'm not, I don't, so here's my thing. I don't have an expectation of family and friends to watch my content. I don't. I realized a long time ago that, support is something that you have to volunteer and that you want to do. And no matter how much I ask somebody or beg them to watch, if they don't find value in my content, they're not. And, whether that's family, friend, or whatever the case may be, it's all good. Like, I don't have an expectation that, because we're friends or we're family, you're obligated to watch my content. That's not me. That's not the type of person I am. So if you don't watch the channel, it's cool. I'm not upset with you. It's nothing. Like, we're cool. But what I don't like is when people say that they're watching my content and they don't watch my content. That right there is irritating. And that right there irks me. That's what I don't like. Like, if you don't watch, cool. No harm, no foul. I get it. Some people like pizza, other people don't like pizza. You know what I'm saying? That's just the reality of things. Everything isn't for everybody. So if you don't like my content, that's what's up. Cool. It's not for you. I have I've got my way to 600 subscribers, 608 at the recording of this video. And I know that out of 608 of them, at least about 50 to 100 people actually enjoy my content. And I can confidently say 50 to 100 because that's the average of my views. On a lower scale, I might get 10 or 11, 15, something like that. On the higher end, I might get 4 to 5,000 people that'll watch one video because it speaks to them. But the majority, I'll usually land somewhere around between. Honestly, I widen the gap. I'd say between 15 to 100. Between 15 and 100 people like my videos and they watch them constantly. So, I know if nothing else, even though I have 600 subscribers, there's about 15 to 100 people that's going to watch my videos no matter what. And then, from there, we got to take a pause because I need to make sure that this video that I was working on today uploaded. But and this is the day of the life, y'all. We can see. Just move the camera around a little bit. I don't like when people try to play me and act like they watch my stuff when they don't. Like that's when I get an issue, and that's when I say something. And then also, I don't like when people try to give me constructive criticism about the type of videos that I should make or the type of content that I should make when they don't make content, number one. Or number two, they don't study content. So I'm good with somebody that doesn't make content to tell me, what type of content that I should make because they watch YouTube a lot or, they know what they like. But number one, if you don't watch YouTube, and number two, you don't make content, or number three, you don't study content, then there's literally no type of constructive criticism that you could give me about the content that I make. And those are the types of things that I, as a content creator, don't enjoy when people do. Um, so yeah, the video uploaded, and let me see. We are in the first. It hasn't been an hour yet. It's been. Oh no, it has been an hour. So the video. No. Let me see. My latest video that I just posted, which by the way, if you haven't checked that out, and you're in the live stream right now kicking it with me, then continue to kick it with your boy because I appreciate the company. But if you aren't, or if you're watching the playback, then definitely make sure you go check out my latest video. We were kicking it at the crib, and Tommy was just ragging on somebody's birthday party. Let me see. Happy Tuesday. I've been trying to be active on Facebook, but I must be doing something wrong. Yeah, man. I need to check on that Facebook group. And then also, if you are a content creator and you want to get involved with the Facebook group that we have going on, then let me know that as well. Super excited about that. It's a big project that we've been working on from day to day and really enjoy it. It's for engagement, things of that nature. We support each other and promote each other's content, and it's organic and it's not, click for click and all that other stuff that people be doing, trying to cheat the system and end up getting their channels deleted. That this ain't that. It's genuine engagement and interactions where we support each other and we kick ideas off each other. We brainstorm things and go from there. Which, by the way, the group is on pause right now, so I need to see if we're going to be unpausing it or what the status is of things. And then I probably need to get something to eat because I haven't eaten all day and I'm starting to get a little hungry. So yeah. Hmm. Let's message out real quick. Just a second, y'all. Where are my people?